Hi everybody, it's time for yet another Steam Deck versus ROG Ally video. But in this one, I specifically want to talk about this choice for the lovers of DayZ. So if DayZ is an important part of your life and you're considering whether to get a Steam Deck portable gaming device or Asus ROG Ally or something like a Lenovo Legion Go or an MSI Claw, basically a Windows-based device, what things should you take into consideration in terms of enjoying playing DayZ, but also in terms of modding DayZ as well? So let's say perhaps at the moment you're a console DayZ player, you're a console player in general maybe, and you're thinking, actually, I want to get into PC DayZ, but you also do a bit of modding on console as well, a little bit of XML modding, a bit of JSON modding. You fancy having to go with the DayZ editor to create your own custom structures, that sort of thing. How should that affect your decision-making process when it comes to ROG Ally or Windows-based gaming PC and Steam Deck or Linux, well, Steam OS, which is Linux-based gaming PC. Now, I'm recording this video as of April 2024. So the first thing I've got to say is, for playing DayZ, neither devices are really any good unless you have a keyboard and mouse, because PC DayZ doesn't have official gamepad support. Unlike almost every other single other game that has a console version and a PC version, normally they put they take advantage of the fact that they've made the gamepad controls for the console version and they put that in the PC version, don't they? Well, DayZ hasn't done that yet. So unless you get a wireless keyboard and mouse or a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, you can't really play it very well either. There are community layouts on Steam Deck and on the ROG Ally which make use of Steam Control, I think it's called, and that's where you can apply these different presets, these different bindings to the gamepad controls for either devices through Steam that kind of do it, but really you need to use keyboard and mouse. So that goes for both of them. Also, and this is probably a killer at the moment for DayZ on Steam Deck, is that the launcher doesn't work properly. Now, they've got the Armour 3 launcher working properly, but as far as I can tell, the DayZ launcher doesn't work properly, which means it doesn't load mods properly. Now, there is a workaround, and I've done a video on how to do the workaround, and there are various Discords out there that will talk you through how to get DayZ working on your Steam Deck, but it is a workaround. Now, the ROG Ally, because it is a Windows 11 PC, basically in a smaller form factor with gamepads chopped in half and stuck on either side, it doesn't care. DayZ doesn't care. It thinks it's on a Windows PC because it is on a Windows PC. So the launcher works fine. It downloads mods fine. All that sort of stuff works fine. All you've got to bear in mind is the fact that you've got to use a keyboard and mouse. Also, what it means is because the ROG Ally is a Windows 11 PC, you can do modding on it. And and you may even have seen my videos where I get a local DayZ server running on it. And that's great for testing mods. You may well have seen my video where I get the DayZ editor mod working on it, which is how you can create custom structures. So it really is it's just a Windows 11 PC. So that being said, though, I think it's very important to point out the fact that you might think, well, the Steam Deck's pretty rubbish then, isn't it? When it comes to DayZ. Well, at the moment it is. Once they sort out the launcher, then when you use it with a gamepad and mouse, it will be a very smooth DayZ experience. Because the Steam Deck is a fantastic console-like experience. If you've got a console, whether it be an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Switch, you know the ease of use. You turn it on, you select the game and you play. That's very much what the Steam Deck is. And the fact that the Steam OS is totally customized to get the best out of this device in terms of the way that the games run, the battery life, the user experience, where with the ROG Ally, it's running Windows 11, and Windows is nowhere near optimized for handheld gaming. Hopefully, in the near future, Windows will get their act together and produce a version of Windows which is more optimized, so it'll have a better user experience, so it'll have a longer battery life, so the UI will be better, but at the moment it doesn't. So in terms of a general gaming device, then the Steam Deck is definitely a better experience, with these caveats: the fact that it can't run certain games properly, like DayZ, any games that don't like Linux. So it's normally to do with anti-cheat. So games like PUBG, Fortnite, Destiny 2, and Destiny 1 probably, they don't like Steam Deck, and they don't like Steam Deck because they don't like Linux. Because SteamOS that this runs on basically is based off Linux. So that's a problem that way. But for playing other stuff, absolutely fine. So, to kind of come around in a big circle, if your main reason for buying a handheld device, or a big part of that reason, is because you want to get into PC DayZ and you want to do some modding as well, and you don't have the budget to get the better solution, which would be a gaming laptop or a gaming desktop, if you can pick up one of these Z1s, especially the non-extreme version, going cheap, then I think you've got to buy your extras as well. This is a really good option. Now, unfortunately, at the moment in the UK, you can't buy the Z1 non-extreme. But in America, at Best Buy, you can, and they normally go for $400. However, a few weeks ago, they were doing them on special for $300, which was an absolute bargain. Because although you might say, oh, well, why wouldn't you just get the most powerful one? With the non-extreme one that Asus have lent me to play around with for the last few weeks, if you, instead of setting the screen to 1080p, you set the screen to 720p, so all the games are just running at 720p, this one runs absolutely fine. And with the new fluid motion frames technology, you get amazing frame rates as well. The only disadvantage, and it has a beautiful screen as well, probably, even though it's an LCD screen, probably better than the OLED. Because although the OLED on the Steam Deck is very, very nice, don't get me wrong, deep blacks, bright brights, the variable refresh rate screen on the Ally is something to behold. It is absolutely fantastic. Really wish the Steam Deck had the screen of the Ally. What was I saying? But the disadvantage, obviously, is that this thing has very poor battery life compared to the Steam Deck, which is a bit of a shame. Let's do it that way. And both devices you can plug into a monitor and use them on a big screen. Obviously, things get a bit fuzzy there, especially with the Z1 Non-Extreme, where you're running at 720p, maybe through a 24-inch or 27-inch monitor. Things look very soft indeed. So, to kind of summarize then, if you want to get into PC gaming, and a big reason for that is DayZ, maybe the main reason for that is DayZ, and you want to dabble in some DayZ modding and that sort of thing, then I think something like a cheap ROG Ally, if you can get one, is a really good choice. If, however, you've already got a gaming PC or a gaming laptop and a gaming library, and so therefore you're going to be playing DayZ on that, and you're going to be doing your modding on that, then of course the Steam Deck is a better experience, because its OS is totally customized towards the hardware, and it is an absolutely fantastic device and a joy to behold. One final thing, you can play console DayZ on both of these devices through Xbox Cloud Gaming streaming. Okay. Okay. So this is where you use a browser, or you use the Xbox app on the ROG Ally to stream DayZ from the Xbox servers, and the version of DayZ that you stream is the console version. Now, how well that works depends entirely on your internet connection. So I tend to find at home, on the home broadband connection, where it's nice and stable and there isn't much lag, works fine on both devices. However, if you're trying to do it through a hotspot on your mobile phone, not so good. Game streaming, Xbox game streaming on your Steam Deck is a little bit more difficult to set up though. It probably takes sort of 10 minutes to set up, because it involves customizing the Edge app. But if you do a Google search, you can see how to do it, but it is possible. Whereas with the ROG Ally, it's just a case of downloading the Microsoft app, Xbox app, and of course, if you're a member of Game Pass, well, you've got to have Game Pass Ultimate to do the game streaming, but then you've also got access to all the Game Pass games anyway, and you can also stream DayZ, which happens to be the console version. So there we go. For me, if you're into DayZ, and DayZ is the main reason for buying a handheld gaming PC, because you want to get into PC gaming and your budget won't stretch to something like a desktop or a gaming laptop, then maybe have a good think about the ROG Ally. Anyway, there we go. That's enough from me. What do you think? Put your questions and comments down below. Of course, I'll see you again soon.